Let's talk about an overview of the one big, beautiful bill. One of the biggest things that you're going to see in there is tax cuts are now permanent. The tax rates that were implemented as of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act are now officially permanent. When 2017, when they were passed, they were made temporary. Well, now you have some permanency in the tax code. The second thing is the standard deduction increase that many millions of taxpayers get to take advantage of. Those are also now permanent. One other thing that's awesome in this bill is if you buy a U.S. vehicle that is completed in the United States and you finance that vehicle, you now have car loan interest that is deductible. Child tax credit is now permanent. That again was temporary as part of 2017. Now it's made permanent. You have estate tax permanency now at this point as well. You may know that the estate tax has been played with for so many years, I can't even count. And there's been all these temporary bills that continue to just punt on that particular issue. Now you have some estate tax permanency at roughly $15 million per person. Great for taxpayers. And finally, sort of the big four in this bill, state and local income tax deduction increase, which is big for many taxpayers. No tax on tips, which is huge. No tax on overtime pay, which I'll talk about in a different segment. And then you have a tax deduction special for seniors as well. So a lot of good stuff in here. Well, first, if you're an individual that makes under $150,000 and you get paid overtime, you generally are going to qualify for an exclusion on this income. Now, the exclusion on the overtime is not on every dollar of overtime pay. When you're paid overtime, generally you're paid time and a half. Your exclusion is going to be on the half portion, not the entire time and a half. So that's the exclusion. This is code section 225, by the way. That amount of the max exclusion on that number is $12,500. So again, if you make $150,000 or less, your overtime exclusion is $12,500, generally saving taxpayers $4,000 of income tax, generally speaking. And if you're an employer and you want to know how to report that, that's going to be on W-2 box 19. That's where the feds are going to make you disclose and report so that the taxpayers can pick it up appropriately. But it's a big provision out of the bill that most people are going to be excited about. If you make under $150,000 and you are customarily in the business of a tipping industry, then generally you're entitled to a $25,000 exclusion on income from tips. That is substantial. So you do not even need to itemize for this particular deduction. So if you normally get tips, you're in the business where you get tips and you're under $150,000, $25,000 exclusion of income. Obviously, you have to report your tips, but there's a $25,000 exclusion of income on that. Really substantial. That includes things like barbering, nail care, aesthetics, spa, all that good stuff that you receive tips. Big deduction out there for you guys. Any senior that is 65 and over and has under $75,000 of annual income will get a tax deduction offsetting all their income of roughly $6,000. So if you make 75 and under, you get a $6,000 tax deduction as a senior as long as you are 65 and older. So many seniors out there that, we're looking for a tax break on Social Security benefits, things like that. That is how they came up with this particular provision, in order to reduce your tax burden on Social Security or any other income you have, assuming your income is at 75 or lower. So big tax deduction for seniors there, save you probably around $2,000, $1,500 maybe, but big deduction for seniors.